Good morning, everyone. I'm Nathan, and today we're going to be playing a Jeskai Splashing Black Geist of Saint draft deck to a modern daily. This is going to be the first daily event that I've participated in which the banned and restricted list is live on Magic Online, so I'm curious to see what kind of decks are going to pop up. I want to talk real quick about how we've changed the deck some. We were running 4 remands, and we're trying these leaks sort of as a nod to the Abzan matchup, hoping to improve it. We were running 4 remands, and what we've actually done is we've turned 2 of those remands into 2 mana leaks, and we took a Lightning Helix out and made it mana leak as well. Lightning Helix isn't great in the Abzan matchup because it doesn't kill much of their stuff. However, this may seem a little controversial, I've just been wondering lately if Helix is actually just better than Lightning Bolt in the Abzan matchup because it offsets some of the life drain that Siege Rhino would normally deal you while basically killing the same stuff, not killing the same stuff, and also being able to go to the dome. And we also took a Electrolyze and turned it into a Crackling Doom. Electrolyze is good against Lingering Souls, doesn't kill much else, but we also potentially have a Thundermaw Hellkite as well as a second one in Engineered Explosives for those. So the way we plan on sideboarding in that matchup today is we're going to go out with the remands, out with the clicks, we're going to go out with the Lightning Helix. As far as what we're bringing in, we kind of have more to bring in than we have to take out. I think we want Engineered Explosives and Relic of Progenitus. I think Relic has the opportunity to shrink a Goyf that can really help and also make their Lingering Souls less good, as well as taking away targets for Scavenging Ooze. So being that the decks are really adept at 1-for-1 in each other, being able to sort of find ways to gain edges I think is valuable. I also have these Curve Toppers. I'm trying Worm Coil Engine over Karanos simply because, you know, as I said before, Karanos has been okay, but there have been times where, you know, my opponent top decks a Siege Rhino, I top deck a Karanos, play the Karanos, and I just lose to getting smacked by a Siege Rhino. So we're going to try something that's just bigger than everything they have and doesn't die to Lily's Edict effect, and we're kind of betting that they don't have many Path to Exiles. The Thundermaw Hellkite is just more on the let's kill them and get rid of their Lingering Souls tokens, which we think they're going to be relying heavily on in this matchup. And then we have a choice here because we also have essentially these 3 cards that we could bring in. Here's the thing. Normally I would want to bring them in like this, but I don't think we have 8 cards that we actually want to cut unless we want to cut a Geist of Saint draft, and I'm not sure that we want to do that. So we're either going to most likely leave out the Verdict and run it like this, or we're going to decide to bring in a Verdict and try cutting a Geist, which I don't really want to do, but we'll consider. Anyway, as far as the rest of the sideboard goes, pretty standard. We are bringing in a Combust, and by the way, you may mention that Combust is good at killing Siege Rhino, but so is Celestial Purge, as well as these Crackling Dooms, as well as the Supreme Verdict, and the only thing in their deck that Combust really hits is Siege Rhino, so, you know, we're trying to figure out what we're bringing in. I probably wouldn't bring that considering the other things. Have a third click over the second Slaughter games for our combo matchups. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's all kind of pretty standard stuff. So we'll wait for the daily event to get started, and I'll see you guys soon. Hi, everyone. So our opponent has showed up, and I don't think we can keep this hand. We only have 1 spell we can cast. It's kind of heavy on the mana cost. Interesting note, if we were running the blue-white-red version of this Crackling Doom, would be a Valorous Stance, and our mana would be a little bit easier, and it might also be easier to cast, so just things to consider. I think we're going to have to mulligan this, hope for something better. It's not amazing, but we do have the 3 lands we need, and you know, we have a couple of ways to interact, so I think it is better. Just gonna make sure my phone is silent here. Opponent's taking his time to decide. All right, great. Let's get started. See, what are we facing? Could be junk. Looks like we're getting Thought Seized or Inquisitioned. So, straight out of the gate, the Nemesis approaches. It's either gonna, I'm gonna guess it's Reman. I mean, he may have a Bob. Bolt makes me think that maybe he's running the Bob version if he even cares that we have that spell. So this could be a Dark Confidant here, which would be unfortunate, or not. That's good. Oh, you know, it's probably going to be, I was going to say, it's probably going to be another point of hand disruption. Straight off the bat, into top deck mode. All right, well, at least he left us with our Reman. So we have our... I think we can avoid playing the Colonnade for now. I'd like to be able to remand like a Liliana if he's going to do that. And if not, I think I will be getting a Steam Vents. I think Bob, let's see, is it worth taking damage? Our opponent's at 16. I think it is. So we have double white. I'm fine with slowing him down here. Maybe we'll be able to find an answer to him. Nope. But we did there, so we'll play our Colonnade and we'll pass back. And hopefully he'll just go slam the Bob and then we can kill it. And we'll also go back up to 20. And if he just hand disrupts us and then plays Bob, well, there's nothing much we can do about that anyway, so. He may be considering such. If our opponent let's say our opponent Overgrown Tombs himself for 2 and then casts like an Inquisition or Thoughtseize prior to the Dark Confidant, obviously we're just going to Helix him at that point because the only thing he can take is Helix, and we might as well try to get some value out of it rather than let him discard it. Nope. Good for us. We are not going to let him get card advantage. And on that land plan, well, we'll get our Black Source in play, pass the turn back. We are on that land plan, and our opponent is on the Draw No Lands. It was a Scavenging Ooze. Let's see, what is in the graveyard? You know, we have the spell now, and we can't Colonnade anyway, so I am fine to just deny our opponent getting any extra value out of that spell. Might have been actually better to wait and see if he like played a land and then played a Lily, and then we could have doomed the Skoos, but he may have also done nothing, and then he could have started eating some stuff and gaining, you know, some incremental value back, and maybe we just want to try to prevent that instead. Still has not found a land, so definitely going to start Colonnading him now. Mana Leak's a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, because we drew that Mana Leak, I'm actually just going to pass back. Next turn, we'd be able to Colonnade and hold up Mana Leak, so yeah, I'm fine to actually just Mana Leak this and then untap and start Colonnading him. And actually, we'll be able to have a remand as well, so that's excellent. We're going to make a white and a blue, and then we will, let's see, what do we want to represent? I guess it doesn't really matter, but we can do this, and this, and just kind of represent our traditional blue, white, red colors. Yeah, we'll animate, move to combat, declare attacks, and F6. Okay, it's opponent's turn. We have our remand up. I think we might be able to snag a game 1 here. And we'll just keep on this plan. I think we just keep Colonnading him. Activate combat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we can actually we can colonnade and then snap bolt him, it looks like. So that's what we're gonna. That is going to be what we want to do. Am I correct about that? Yeah, we can after combat. So white, blue, blue. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can snap with the colonnade planes and get the lightning bolt with the blood crypt. So we'll activate. This is assuming our opponent does not have a Slaughter Pact or a Dismember, which he may. If he did, we could well, we don't have a path in there. I was gonna say we could in response like snap path his Goit, but we don't have one. Just waiting for my opponent to pass priority back. He did. Combat, attacks. Do we get in for damage? We potentially don't. Oh, yes we do. And then we'll go ahead and Snapcaster Mage, get the lightning bolt. And okay, go on to game 2. All right, now as discussed, we want to bring in our Wormcoil Engine. We want to bring in our Thunderbolt Hellkite. We want to bring in a relic, 2 Engineered Explosives, and a Celestial Purge. And we definitely want to take out these clicks. Nope, we went to Mana Leak. Mana Leak was good there. I don't know that it was necessarily any better than Remand. We did kill a Bob with it. Which he, at that point, he may have just hurt himself more with. Get rid of these Remands. Get rid of these Lightning Helixes. So we have the option of bringing in one of these. I'm not, you know, if the choice is between Verdict or Combust, I would just want Verdict, I think. Do we want to cut a Geist? Our curve's already pretty... Yeah, it's pretty heavy. Pretty top heavy. No, we do lower it some with these though. Geist or Verdict? I'll try it. Let's see what happens. I could be wrong. I guess we'll no, we're gonna leave it like that. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. We'll submit this. See you guys in just a moment. Hi guys, we're back for game 2 of round 1, and we're going to keep this hand. Our opponent's probably just going to do a bunch of hand disruption anyway. We have a good number of lands which will support, hopefully, drawing into some bigger stuff later. So we're going to keep, and if our opponent wants to take any of these, then... you know, there's not much we can do about it. If he doesn't take the relic, then I'm actually okay with just turn 1 relicking, so we can start trying to get value out of that. But he's got a handful of Tarmogoyfs. He may look at that and be like, nah, I don't think I want that around. So we'll see what he takes here. It'd also be interesting to see, like, from our opponent's viewpoint, what does he value more? Does he hate the path? It's probably going to be path or relic. So it'll be curious. Like, I'll be surprised. Well, let's see. It depends on what he has in his hand. I think by default you want to get rid of Path if you're the junk player, but looking at that relic, if you know that you have Tarmogoyfs coming up, may feel like that needs to be gotten rid of. Okay, so what was the bolt? So I think we're probably staring down a Bob. I'm just going to play our relic out. Do not mind doing that. Now, if our opponent does play a Bob, we don't want a Path to Exile, but we certainly will. Letting him get triggered activations off of a Dark Confidant is not how we're going to win this game. So we will exile one from his graveyard. Yeah, like I said, we're not thrilled. We're gonna play our. Oh, we can't play our colony. We have to play white source. So we'll play the plains. Yeah, and we're gonna go ahead and path this guy. That's not something we're happy to do, but you know, as I said, this is a game of trading. This is an attrition-based matchup. Probably gonna be a siege rhino. It's just a Goyf and another Goyf. Well, I think it's worth cracking Relic here so we can try to find an answer to that thing. So we're gonna do that. Drawing in an Electrolyze would be absolutely sick. I was going to say, except he would get a... we're going to make these Goyfs bigger, but potentially being able to mana leak his next play would be good. And he probably won't do it till after the Goyfs attacks. So we're going to play our Flooded Strand and pass the turn. He may just dump a sorcery in the graveyard. Well, there's a land, so it doesn't really much matter. Took a lot less there than we normally would have. And we don't have a way to deal with that, so I feel actually pretty good about just mana leaking this Siege Rhino. Is going to make his Goyf bigger, but I don't think we want to deal with that thing. Maybe this will be... Ugh, sure drawing lots of lands. Goyfs are big again. We've drawn a ton of lands. I think we want to get this... I think we want to get our Blood Crypt online in case we draw a... Crackling Doom. Could have also gone the Arid Mesa route to try to thin some. Well, we're just losing the black source to a tech edge. Alright, I don't know if we'll make it that far, but let's see. If we can draw like a path in between now and then, that would be very nice. Well, Worm Coil would have been... He blew up a land, so we are behind on playing this Worm Coil. It would have been sweet. We do not have any answers in our hand, so unfortunately we are going to have to concede this match. Or this game. So yeah, we're 5. Yeah, we're dead. Even if we could path to exile the Tarmogoyf, we'd be dead to Bob and Goyf. So we'll go on to the next game. I don't think there's anything we want to change here. Worm Coil would have been good there. We just kind of drew a bunch of lands and couldn't answer anything, so hopefully we will draw better next game. Let me go ahead and pause this while we wait. All right, we're back, and of course we're going to be on the play. This hand's weird. Can we? I don't think we want to keep this hand. I mean, we're just going to get our Batterskull Thoughtseize away, and then we'll have nothing. This is a little better. So if we have a blue source, we know we have the. So we do not have any double blue requirements now, so we can get a Sacred Foundry and or a Blood Crypt. Let's see, let me double check that. What's in our deck list here? What do we bring in? Yeah, their only real requirement is Crackling Doom, and yeah, so we would have just gotten our Battle Scroll Thoughtseized away and felt bad about it. I think here I'm just going to get a Sacred Foundry. That could be useful. And we'll play our Flooded Strand and pass back. Don't really want to ramp him. That's sweet. Didn't crack there because I actually was initially what I probably should have gotten is and I thought about this, I should have got a Blood Crypt and then I could have got a Blood Crypt, a Sacred Foundry, and then had this blue up, and that would have meant that we have Crackling Doom mana and our double red in place in case we draw a Thundermaw. But we didn't. Just doing this now because it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to play this land and pass with what we have here. If we don't have to do anything, then maybe we'll get some more information about what land we should get with this Flooded Strand. Shocking at 3 lands. Okay, well, yeah, there's not much we can do. Just he's going to Thoughtseize us. That's how this matchup goes. I'm going to guess that means Goyf. It's not going to fetch just yet. Well, we do have a path up. Luckily, he does not know about this guy. I mean, he knows we have a path. He just has to play into them. He probably just has another one. I think we just have to play, let's see, is there creatures in the graveyard? Probably, yeah, there's a Confidant and a Snapcaster Mage. I feel like we just have to play a Geist here. I want to do something with our mana. Question is, how bad do we want it? Do we want to pay for it? 2 life for it? I don't think so. We can't, with this Watery Grave, we made a mistake earlier. We should have got that Blood Crypt and then a Sacred Foundry. Because then we wouldn't have to worry about potentially getting a... we could have fetched a long time ago. We wouldn't have to worry about top decking a Crackling Doom. So let's see. No land we can get will let us cast a Crackling Doom. We don't really have a double blue requirement. We do have red. God, I kind of just want to get a Sacred Foundry, but I'm gonna preserve a bit. I'm going to preserve our life total sum and just start with this. Just get a planes here and cast Geist. Drawing a land would be pretty good. Then we could at least blink him. Our opponent knows our hand though, and he may just... Oh my gosh. It's going to be really difficult to play another land because we could potentially just get double tech edged. This must be a Liliana. Or it's a Siege Rhino. Okay. Game 1, let's see. Our opponent doesn't have green. We could just kill his Scavenging Ooze. Given that we're behind, I don't really mind that because if we top deck a way to kill this Siege Rhino, then we're not doing terrible. He doesn't have green up to grow it. We're just going to kill it. We're behind on the board. We don't need to save our Geist right now. We need to try to get in a better position. That is not a good one. But what we are going to do is I'd love to just Relic and get another land in play, but I feel like we're just going to die. Relic not good against Rhino. All right, we are going to Relic here and see if we can find something positive. Electrolyze, you're not going to get us there. Ouch. Taking a lot. I guess this is fitting that we get stuck on lands when our opponent was stuck on lands in game 1. Yeah, we are definitely losing this game. Yeah, this is pretty bad. We'll take 3 from the Rhino if we block with a Snapcaster Mage, and I guess we could just block. This doesn't. We could just block him, and we'll be at 4. I don't see a way out of this. Well, there's a path, but clearly it's not going to do anything for us, unfortunately. All right, so that round just kind of went how these matchups against junk sometimes go. Trying to think back, if there's anything we could have done differently. You know, if we had gotten that Blood Crypt, it would have made our mana a little bit better, but we didn't draw anything that we really needed for it. So I think it's kind of a moot point. I mean, I think our opponent just drew a little better. We stumbled a bit on lands. We couldn't cast our spells, and then we did draw a path here, but it's a little bit too late. Yeah, so all right, well, let's see how things go in the next couple of rounds. See you guys in a bit.